Had you done this to other foster children?
No, I hadn't. And it was only
Did
because
you do this to your own children?
no, it was only because, like I say, she initiated it, and
And you're a grown adult,
I'm grown.
knowing what her issues are, knowing that she's in
Yes.
therapy.
We are about to watch the parole hearing of a monster, a foster parent, dare I say, who adopted a 10-year-old girl with one goal in mind. Now, he accomplished that goal. He accomplished it for over 2 years. And as a matter of fact, he brought his buddies in on it. Someone filmed the act over 50 times when the FBI raided his house. They had over 50 videos that were traded amongst the community. This is really the worst of the worst. So then you might ask, how is it possible? How is it possible that someone who records the act of the crime, who saves the videos, how is it possible that he will not die in prison? But not only will he not die in prison, but he is up for parole, and the maximum that he has to serve is just 20 years. What kind of pathetic judge, pathetic DA would agree to a deal like that to a man who records his crimes? Legislation in Connecticut at the time would have allowed a 10-year sentence for every video recorded. I'm not very good at math, but 50 times 10 surely is more than 20. Connecticut legislation also allows a 20-year sentence for every time he would have done a physical act to that 10-year-old. Also not very good at math, but I'm pretty sure that 2 years of those acts is more than a 20-year sentence. Now, to add final insult to injury, the Static 99, the genius questionnaire that PhDs have created for all of our 50 states to use, they view this man as a low risk to reoffend. As low as possible, as a matter of fact. Make that make sense. Listen to the excuses that he gives at his parole hearing. Listen to the answers that he makes, and it only gets more vile. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, he's a low risk to reoffend. With that, let's jump in.
My name is Craig Niles,
Inmate number?
364050.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Craig Niles, 364050. He is serving a sentence of 20 years jail, followed by 15 years special parole for sex 1, victim under the age of 13, promoting a minor to obscene performance, employing a minor of obscene performance, illegal possession of child first, and illegal sexual contact with a victim under the age of 16. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility date of November 15, 2025 at 85%. There's no victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan for the offender. It has been reviewed and shows the offender has completed short-track sex offender program, and he remains on the wait list for a job. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender overall score falls within the low range of risk for recidivism. And utilizing the static 99R, the offender overall score for sexual offense recidivism fall within the low range for the static 99R. Mr. Niles, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole, sir. You may begin.
Well, I should be granted parole. I don't know. I feel that that I have rehabilitated, that I'm totally ashamed and embarrassed. I have very tenuous, fragile connections with family that I want to continue, so I don't feel I'm a risk to the public any longer. My physical capabilities have become extremely limited, and I have all I can do to take care of myself. So I don't know the purpose why I would be still incarcerated for longer. Um, it, I really have little to say on that. I don't know.
You really have
What's
what?
your-
I'm sorry. What did
I
you
have
say?
little more to say on that. I don't.
A little more
I don't feel
constraint.
that prison will improve me any more than I am. You know,
Difficulty. He doesn't feel that he is going to, what, more now than he is?
He doesn't
Well,
perceive himself to be a risk at any one.
And what about remorse for your victim? Do you, anything by way of an apology?
if I am not allowed any contact, so all I can do, I have done, is I prayed for her recovery and well-being, and that's all I can do. I have no other further contact enabled. And I own nothing. There's nothing I can give. There's nothing I
What about
can.
remorse?
Oh, I feel remorse. Of course I do. Yes, I
You didn't
was.
say that.
Oh, yeah,
You did
please. Well, I was put in place to protect and correct any misbehaviors. Instead, I took advantage of it. I am embarrassed and I am ashamed of what I have done. I have betrayed my family. I betrayed my own ethics and remorse. Yeah, I have daily remorse for what I have done, not for just what it has cost me, but what it has cost my family and for the victim and for my friends and for my
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Niles, for your statement. We're going to ask you some questions. When we are done with questions, we'll deliberate and give you our decision, okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you, sir. Ms. Turner will start.
Okay. Madam Chair, before we begin, I'd like to ask Officer Smelly, by my count, he has 4 counts of sexual assault in the first degree.
Yes.
And that's what the rap sheet's showing.
It was 4, yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right.
As a septum.
So Mr. Niles, you've taken the short track program. Can you explain to us why you committed these crimes?
At the time, I hate to explain why I felt justified in doing it because it sounds like I'm defending it. This is not a defense. But at the time, I felt that the individual had already been sexualized by her family, and because she initiated aggressively and repeatedly, I felt that, and she did well with her therapist and all that. I felt well that it was a natural behavior to her, and I was wrong in doing that, but that was my self-justification at the time.
Sounds like you're still justifying.
You know, did you learn about cognitive distortions in the program that you took?
Cognitive distortion is not that name. I learned from the
Thinking
program.
distortions? Thinking distortion?
Facing distortions?
Thinking.
Oh, yes.
Okay, because all of that sounds like distorted thinking that you use to rationalize victimizing this child over a 2-year period.
Yes, I did
And
that for
what
sure.
I want to ask you, Mr. Niles, is where is your compassion?
Well, and again, because she was doing well with therapy, she was happy, she was doing better in school. I thought that since it was natural behavior to her, that, and I was wrong. I should have had more compassion, more thought for the future, everything.
You weren't just wrong, you were criminal. You victimized and violated the child in almost every conceivable way. And then put it on display for your friends to watch. It just is absolutely reprehensible. And if you took a child into your home who had been violated before, or as you call it, already sexualized, this is a child who needed compassion and love and support and care. And instead, you exploited her vulnerabilities and reinforced for her that she wasn't worth anything but being a play toy to you and your friends.
Well, you're right. I said, It's not the
So
way I
this
was
is a
brought
bigger
up, and
problem
it's
for you
unrehearsed.
because obviously child pornography is part of your crime as well. So
Yes.
tell me about your choice of your online name.
Well, I had different online names, but one of them, which was the worst one, was Kids Are for Sex. And that was very, very blatant. I was at that point tied into a community that was reinforcing my dysfunction.
Again, you're not taking responsibility. You were the one that named that
I am
account.
responsible. That was me.
You're saying it was part of the community, like it was peer
I
pressure.
said that I
You
was looking
chose
to
the
the
name.
community for reinforcement. I was looking for reinforcement because down deep inside, I knew this wasn't right.
But you
What can I say?
chose a name for your online presence. Kids are cute for the number.
I did. It was terrible.
What were you thinking?
It was a terrible, terrible thing. I agree. 100%.
Terrible
100%.
doesn't, I mean, I'm not sitting here trying to beat you up, but I'm trying to understand the choices that you were making out in the community that validated somehow or reinforced, as you put it, your
was trying to
choice
validate
to violate
reinforce it,
and
yes.
victimize children.
I was trying to enforce it and validate it, yes. I was wrong. I know I was.
Well, you're sitting in prison, so that is the most direct evidence of that what you did was wrong, because it was criminal, sir.
Yes.
And the level to which you betrayed this child who was already vulnerable. Had you done this to other foster children?
No, I hadn't. And it was only
Did you
because,
do this to your own children?
no, it was only because, like I say, she initiated it and
And you're a grown adult,
I'm wrong.
knowing what her issues are, knowing that she's in
Yes.
therapy,
Yes,
and you just exploited her.
yes. I did. At the time when she came to me, she was supposedly, they did not reveal to me that she had been sexualized, that she had had that
Okay,
type of
I'm going to ask
interaction.
you to stop using that description. She wasn't sexualized, she was victimized.
Okay, I wasn't aware that she was victimized at the time that she was first put in with me, so I didn't
So
anticipate
you
or
had
plan for any
support
of this.
you had supports as a foster parent. So when she started doing things like sucking on your fingers, did you not think to ask for some of her background and to say, like, your children when they were kids, they didn't do that, right?
No.
Okay, so it was your responsibility as a caretaker to find out what might be going on with her.
You're
I mean,
right.
she was placed in your house and she was in therapy when she was placed in your house, right?
Yes.
So what did you think she was in therapy for?
Well, there was a lot of problems in her household. She had an alcoholic father and she had a drug addicted mother. So there were a number of things that harmed this poor girl.
So you were married at the time, right, Mr. Niles?
Yes, I was.
Uh-huh. And you went to great efforts to make sure your wife didn't find out?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay. In the short track program, did you learn about grooming? What it means to groom your
Yes.
victim? Uh-huh.
Yes.
So give me some examples of what you were able to identify was grooming acts that you perpetrated against this child.
I encouraged and I showed her more affection and attention whenever there was any of this interaction. And I just tried to make it normalizing conversation. I didn't use words to describe it, just tried to make it feel more normal.
Did you use pornography to groom her? Showing
I
her
used,
pornography?
Yes, yes.
Mhm. Yeah. Did you ask her to keep it a secret between the two of you?
No, no, I didn't. She was,
Did you threaten her if she told?
no, I never threatened her. The,
Did you give her gifts for
oh,
letting her, did you give her gifts for letting you do what you wanted to do to her?
oh yeah, I kissed her. I gave her.
No, gifts, presents.
Yes.
Did you give her
present?
gifts?
No, I did not.
Why
But
did you
I
bring
did.
why did you bring your friends into the victimizing of the child? Did you feel like, you know, that meant you were, you know, a big deal? Cool.
Not that I was a big deal. Again, I was constantly trying to validate what I did. And this was another person who had, although he hadn't expressed it, I knew he had similar interests. And it was, I don't know. I don't know what to say, why. Again, I was trying to feel that what I did was okay, or what I did was right, and the more people that would say it was right fought off the thoughts that it was wrong.
Who were you telling?
Well, mostly it was online. It was anonymous online. But there was one, well, he was co-conspirator in that he was a friend of mine I had known since he was a child, and I brought him into it in my
So how
life.
did you know that he was interested in the same thing?
It was, just guarded conversation now and then it just gradually built up.
That was
Yeah.
okay. That was okay to have discuss. I like little kids. That was okay. That was a
No,
discussion.
it wasn't okay. As I say, I realized what I did was a terrible thing.
Before you made the decision to start exploiting and violating this child, were you doing other things to feed your interest in your sexual interest in children?
I was collecting pornography and I was active online in different chat groups
Okay. And you managed to hide all of this from your wife
yes, I
and your
did.
kids.
Yes.
So what's been the fallout with your family? They actually still support you?
Well, my two sisters support me and I hope forgive me. My oldest son does. My youngest son visits me very rarely, but does visit me. My daughter has pretty much cut off contact with me. I still have cousins that come to visit me. I still have my minister that he used to visit me regularly, but now he's getting much older and we just converse by mail. But much of my friends and and my niece in Texas, she's even come up here to visit me, and we've had good
Do you
conversations.
have any appreciation of how fortunate you are, Mr. Niles?
Oh, yes, I do. I value the connections I have with my family. I value them more than anything I have in life. That's why it's tenuous, it's fragile. I would do nothing to harm them again, to break that connection. They're everything to me. They really are.
Now, yeah, I mean, people who do the heinous things that you were doing out in the community and to individual children often find themselves ostracized without any support. And the fact that your family wants anything to do with you, I hope you have a lot of gratitude for that. How long are you gonna be on the state sex offender registry?
I'll be on that the rest of my life, I guess. Yeah.
So, what do you understand about special parole? You have 15 years of parole ahead of you.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's rules I gotta live by. I don't mind whatever it is I have to do on it. I mean, I'm not gonna be driving again. I got a new prison.
We'll be setting those conditions for you today, and I guarantee you'll be restricted from any access to pornography. You'll
Yeah.
have enhanced device monitoring to make sure that you're not doing inappropriate things like you've been doing.
Fine.
And you'll not be allowed to have any contact with minors.
That's fine. I'm fine with all of it.
Yeah,
and it's
well, so your
totally-
end of sentence is next July. And you'll go out to 15 years of special parole. Your
yes.
parole officer is there to help you in the community. So you need to be building that relationship with your parole officer. And, you know, in your case, it really is about supervising you. Because at 76, I'm not sure how much support you need other than, you know, housing. Do you have a pension or a retirement fund?
I only have Social Security, and my sisters have been helping me. I do have medical issues that I have to continually take care of.
I'm going to encourage you to find some way to give back to the community for the harm that you've caused. You're not going to be able to volunteer in many places.
I volunteered
because of your-
before. I
You're on the
volunteered
sex
before.
offender registry now, sir. There
I
will be
know.
very few places that you're going to be able to volunteer, but you need to figure out ways to give back because you've caused tremendous harm, not to just this child, but victims, all victims of this crime. It just is so disturbing that you would make this choice. You had a vulnerable child who really needed love and care, and you just exploited her vulnerabilities, her victimization. You made it so much worse for her. It just
You know,
is so tragic. I continue to pray for her. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
I have no question, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I don't have questions either. It's clear. Honestly, in my opinion, I do not believe that Mr. Niles has demonstrated enough change, evidence of change to support his discretionary parole. So I am going to vote to deny his parole and set special parole conditions.
I'm on board with that. The nature and circumstance of these crimes that spanned 2 years of this poor child's life.
So I have nature and circumstance. I also have inadequate evidence of offender change to be one of the reasons based on our discussion. And also for conditions, I have no victims. I have initials KC, DC, and JL. Those were the names that were on the victim impact sheet. And problem sex behavior treatment, no minors, porn restriction, enhanced monitoring, and a halfway house.
And I also have his co-defendant, Steve
Yes, that's right.
Turklington.
Yes,
Turkey.
Turkey. Yes, I saw it. Stephen Turkey. Okay, so with regard to Craig Niles, 364050, I move to deny discretionary parole based on his the nature and circumstance of this offense and inadequate evidence of offender change. You will not receive a new hearing and will EOS on this sentence. It's my understanding you have special parole to follow your sentence, 15 years, to which the following conditions will apply. You are to have no contact with your victims, initials K, C, D, C, or JL. You are to have no contact with minors without your parole officer's permission. You'll participate in problem sexual behavior treatment in the community. You will have a pornography restriction. You'll be monitored on the enhanced monitoring. And also a halfway house for residential placement and no contact with your co-defendant listed on your PSI, Stephen Turkington. Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. All right, and Mr. Niles, I know that this is a lot. And you'll receive all of this in writing, sir. So what just happened is we denied your discretionary parole based on the nature of your crimes and the fact that we don't feel that you've demonstrated enough evidence of change, and we set your special parole conditions, okay? Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
This concludes the hearing for Craig Niles, 364050. You'll receive all this in writing.
And they denied. They were as disgusted as we were. And I'll go through the facts of the case. Again, my anger, my hate, it doesn't go towards the roach because he's a roach. It doesn't go towards even the parole board in this scenario, they said no, right? It goes to the DA, it goes to the judge to allow this deal to happen. They are the cowards that need to be called out in this case. You do not take a case where you have a royal flush backed upon another royal flush and another royal flush and not throw away the key. I don't know if you can tell I have a cold, but it's not going to stop me from raging about this cockroach. It's these type of cases that need to be called out, and the hard questions, it shouldn't be a hard question. It should just be a question that you ask is, why did you give him a deal? This is a foster parent. He is adopting his prey intentionally. If you think for 1 second that this wasn't something that he planned, you don't belong to be in any type of authority, a position over these matters. Who knows how many victims he has? He had 2 boys that were adopted and this child who was 10. And 17 somewhat years later, he's still blaming her. He still has his same mind-altered crap. Oh, she was already happened from her family. What's the big deal? She was doing fine in school. Obviously, she wanted it. But they had, in the prosecution, all the ammunition you can need. Not only someone who's committing the acts for years, but at just the idea that he has a foster parent. He went to the store and he picked up his prey. It's premeditated. Then he films it. He has his buddy come film it. And then he trades it. You don't think he traded it? That is, I believe, how they caught him. This is 2008. A Stafford man is accused of having an ongoing. This is what they call this. This is what they put in writing. Shame on you. What is this? CNBC? An ongoing relationship? Sexual relationship? Who writes these things? With an 11-year-old girl, 59-year-old Craig Niles appeared before a judge Monday afternoon in the Rockville Superior Court to face a long string of charges, including essay of a minor at risk of injury to a minor. Court documents indicated the relationship, a relationship they're calling it. How dare they? First came to light when the accused bragged about it online. Yeah, he bragged about it online. Using the screen name Kids Are For. Yup. These are the kind of guys that you see our favorite Chomo catchers catch. This is it right here. And for all of you fools, I know you're out there, probably not watching this, who think, oh, those poachers are just doing it for internet clout. They're not saving anyone. Shut up. Everyone they catch, they're saving a child. The FBI and state police searched his home Friday, and according to the affidavit of probable cause, Niles confessed that he'd been having a sexual relationship. You see, they're using the same language that he used with the victim for almost 2 years. You can't have a relationship with a 10-year-old. God, it's all brain rot. All of this is just rot. He was arrested Saturday. A computer file collected as evidence is said to have had hundreds of photos. By law, they could have locked him away for each photo. Each photo is a crime. And 50 videos. Each video is a crime. Niles had been living off Stafford Spring home with his wife and adopted 2 sons. At least his wife's not stay with him. How many times have we seen? I'm not gonna accuse his wife of being involved. Foster child placed home by DCF. All 3 children have since been removed from the home. Niles, who has no criminal history, means how many victims do you think he has? This thing doesn't just happen. If you're wondering about his co-defendant is out already. His co-defendant, I found him on the registry. He only served 10 years for filming it. And if you don't think he got involved in other ways, these are the charges that they officially slapped on him. I don't know why they didn't add more, but I think this is the initial charges, which were 4 counts of SA first. And I'm guessing that those were actual videos of SA. So let's ask, in 2008, what was the legislation for first? Maximum numbers of years in prison. Let's see. (2008) considered a sexual assault first, classified as follows: Class A felony, victim under 10, involved. In this case, the victim was 10 when it started, but up to 25 years. So if it's under 13, up to 20 years. So 20 years for each count. So this is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 100 years right here, just on what they have on video evidence. And we don't need to go down the list, but as you can see, there were enough. Let's see, look at the language of this: employing a minor in obscene performance. Let's see, what about, let's ask Grok again. What about, let's see what they say. 2008 legislation, Connecticut, employing a minor in obscene performance, induced person under 16, classified as a felony, up to 25 years. This felony alone was a 25-year sentence. This one by itself. So again, and then it goes on and on and on. 20 counts of risk of injury to a minor, possession of CP. Let's see, what's possession of CP? Possession of CP. Let's see. In 2008, legislation in Connecticut regarding possession of possession of 50 or more, which we had. 20 years. 20 years. So here's the point, and I think I'm done sharing articles. They had a smoking gun. They didn't just have a smoking gun. They had 100 smoking guns. They had DNA. They had everything. They even had his co-defendant who could have taken a stand against him, who got 10 years for doing nothing. Not a plea deal. He didn't take a stand. These are all plea deals. They didn't go to trial. And don't give me the whole, oh, they don't want to put the victim on the stand. BS. You really don't want to put the victim on the stand? Sometimes you have to. You know, here's the thing. If someone was murdered in front of a 5-year-old, they wouldn't say, let's give the guy a plea deal so we don't have to put the 5-year-old on the stand as the witness to the murder. We've seen it. The only reason that these pathetic judges and DAs give these deals and then gaslight us by saying they didn't do the deal because they didn't want to put the victim on the stand, they're doing it to gaslight us. They do not care about the victim. This is a slam dunk case. They could have said, really? You want to go to trial? Okay. We're going to lock you away for life. And then they could have given him, if they really wanted to, a plea deal for 30 years, for 40 years. You want to call that a life sentence? And fine, some people need to be locked up for life. Some people earn that right. And he's a low risk to reoffend on the static 99. Don't worry about it. What a big deal. So his co-defendant got out in 2020. And he's going to get out now anyways in his full term date, which is, let's see what Lady Holly put here. I don't know if I can see his full term date. Yeah, full term date, 6/13/2026. He will be out in less than a year. Let that sink in. And with that, I'll let you go.
It was only because, like I say, she initiated it and
And you're a grown adult,
I'm grown.
knowing what her issues are, knowing that she's in
Yes.
therapy,
yes,
and you just exploited her.
yes. I did. At the time when she came to me, she was supposedly, they did not reveal to me that she had been sexualized, that she had that type
Okay,
of
I'm gonna ask
interaction.
you to stop using that description. She wasn't sexualized, she was victimized.